This is the Red Pill Reich. Now, today we're going to talk about the last component I need to deal with Ed Dutton, but I disagree with. We've already established that he accepts Kevin MacDonald's model, the Jewish group evolutionary strategy model, and he promotes also the social epistasis amplification model. So there's no disagreement there. I've already established that trying to apply this social epistasis amplification model to anything prior to like ancient civilizations or something cannot work by the very theory, because it hinges upon the child mortality rate going down to practically zero, and that did not occur until after the industrialized age. So that cannot be. So the only thing left for me to address now is his claim that although he agrees with Kevin MacDonald's Jewish group evolutionary strategy model, he says the clown world we live in today would have happened anyway, even without the JQ. Well, this is wrong, okay? And this is what I'm going to be talking about. We know that the Jays created Christianity, okay? It was hoisted upon subversion. It was a subversion thing to try to get themselves out of the predicament they were in at the time. And in Rome. And it worked more beautifully than they could have ever imagined, okay? The alternative to this is this stupid Roman provenance theory that the fucking Romans themselves invented this shit, right? To pacify the fucking Jews, right? This is the most retarded ass argument. So they're going to create and completely change the infrastructure of their society with a new religion, a new culture, everything, which eventually led to its own collapse. I mean, how that worked out for them, if that's the case, it didn't. And just to pacify the Jewish people? I mean, these people, the Romans had no qualms just crushing any uprisings or rebellions militarily. And the Jews were like one of the easiest groups they conquered, dude. They were not scared of these people, all right? And they never did this with any other group they conquered. Why the Jews? I mean, the idea is stupid, okay? And I've already addressed this. So Christianity has been a problem, maladaptively engineering Europeans for over 2,000 years now. It's first wave slave morality. And that's why we have slave morality today, okay? Which led to the altruistic, pathological altruism and empathy we have that extends to other races and shit. So that would have not occurred had it not been for the JQ and their strategies. So, and had that not happened, we would still be under master morality, and any spiteful mutants would be kept at a very small number, and they would be oppressed like they were prior to the Christianity, okay? Like in Rome, the lower class people outnumbered the higher class, but they didn't have shit, did they? Okay, not until after Christianity. Then that's when you had the triumph of the slave class, okay? So they would not have been a problem. Spiteful mutants only got the power they got because people allowed it after all these years of subversion, okay? Under master morality, that would not have occurred. Now, the idea that their numbers would have grown, well, the only people that would have made it, okay, had the JQ not been involved at all, okay, again, we would be under master morality. So they're not going to be nobody's going to be mating with these people other than them mating amongst themselves. So the numbers, and we would have instituted some serious eugenics policies probably that actually worked, to keep these people down, keep their numbers down. And we'd have had no qualms just wiping them out, like we did back then. We didn't have this, these poor little shit people. We would have said, fuck these people. Okay, but even if we did allow them, I'm doubtful that I doubt their numbers would have reached beyond not even 50% of the population. But let's just say they did, all right, for the sake of argument. Well, the only people they're going to be mating with is themselves. So what's going to happen is eventually you're going to hit what's called mutational load, mutational meltdown, because after a while you're going to get to the point, and no, this has nothing to do with child mortality rate. So that's not a cop out here. Child mortality rate cannot be explained, cannot address this. Child mortality rate deals with once the date of time they were born up to 5 years. In that range, any child that dies, that can fall under the child mortality rate. Yes, modern tech would have come about, and we would have, but the thing is, these people would be oppressed, and that might have allowed these people to live, yes. So the numbers may have grown a little bit, unless we, of course, would have probably applied some eugenics thing to keep the numbers down, but even if we didn't, they're going to hit what's called mutational meltdown. Then you're going to get problems such as prenatal death, miscarriages, embryonic death, fetal death, even fertility itself becoming impossible because the mutations are so fucked up, you get this mutational meltdown. And even today, we do not have the technology. There's fertility clinics that even talk about the problems with high mutational load. They cannot solve that problem with all the fertility issues that are, that come about due to the mutational load. This has nothing to do, again, with child mortality rate. So child mortality rate going down has nothing to do with fucking prenatal death and infertility problems where you're basically sterile. And that's what you get when this. So eventually these people would be so fucked up with mutational meltdown, they would not be able to reproduce anymore. So they're going to die out anyway, even with modern tech, because we do not have the technology to solve these problems right now. Okay, so even with all the tech we have today, yeah, it helps with child mortality rate, but what I'm talking about here has nothing to do with child mortality rate. It's prenatal death and just straight up infertility and sterility. So that would not have been an issue. We would have held them down. We would have probably implemented fucking eugenics policies that actually worked, getting rid of these fucking people, and they would have reached mutational meltdown. So the idea that they would have come about anyway and caused problems, no. Yeah, unless they become like over 80%, let's say 95% of the population, where they could actually take over by just sheer numbers, which I doubt that would have ever occurred, they're gonna die out anyway. They would have not have reached those fucking numbers. So Ed Dutton's claim that it would have happened without the JQ is impossible. If we still remained under master morality, that would not have occurred. So that's really all I gotta say here. Until next time, ciao.